Pittsburgh Steelers fans, what's good? What's good? On a Wednesday afternoon lunch break, it's your boy Tate in the building, coming at you for some of that good Steelers talk. You know, uh, nothing really going on. The 53-man roster was released yesterday. I'll give my takes on that. I know you've heard a lot of different takes from a lot of different uh, individuals, people in the Steelers sphere, but you get my take. You get my take again this evening. Probably not. I'll probably be out talk tonight, but because we got Smash the Gas coming up, 7:15 on the Know It All Network. Be sure to check that out. We'll be talking about what are we talking about tonight? Something related with the 53-man roster. Let me pull that up. Smash the Gas. Oh yeah. We're going to talk about the Big Ten players on the Steelers team among the other 53. We'll talk about the players from the Big Ten that are be major contributors to the 2025 Steelers this season. We'll get into that and whatever the live chat wants to talk about on that one tonight, 7:15 on this Know It All's channel. Be sure to tap in and check it out. Then after that, we go directly over to the Pump Your Brakes podcast, which will be airing both on the Steel Curtain Network and the Know It All's Network. Be sure to tap in and check that out. Myself, on Smash the Gas, myself, Big G, and the homie Curb in the building. On Pump Your Brakes, the Triple OG Shannon White will join us. As Big G, like I said, we're going to spin the block and kick Kirby out the car. I don't know why Big G always want to kick Kirby out the car, man, but he seems to always want to kick Kirby out the car. But Curb, I respect your takes, man. I know you feeling kind of upset, sad, disappointed. Disappointed's a good word. That Amari Cooper going back home to the Raiders. We know you had a man crush on Amari Cooper since free agency began and the wide receiver search began. But yeah, Amari Cooper's back with the Raiders. Again, after Smash the Gas, we tap into the Pump Your Brakes podcast, Triple OG, Shannon White, Big G, and myself again. And we'll be talking about the 53-man roster. We got to get everybody's takes on the 53. You probably seen Big G out here yesterday. I know he was doing his keeping it 100. He was on Steeler Almighty last night. He kind of put some of his takes out there. But me and Big G never quite see eye to eye on some stuff we do. Like we saw eye to eye on the Corliss Waitman thing. A lot of people had Cameron Johnston being named the punter. We went ahead and rolled with Corliss Waitman, and Corliss Waitman got the job. Some places I was wrong. We'll talk about that once we go over the 53. Well, once I go to 53, then we'll get those guys' takes tonight on the shows. But be sure to tap in and check those out. Friday night, it's going to be the homies, myself, the homie B Dirt and Pay in the building talking AFC North football, AFC North in black and white. We're going to be talking about that, just talking about the 53-man roster in the division, give our division predictions for the AFC North, and if we have time, we'll get into some of the division predictions across the greater NFL, all the divisions. We'll see what we can get to. So, but yeah, that's Friday night at 8 o'clock, roll with the homies Friday night, hashtag No Freaky Friday, hashtag No Diddy. We in the building though. Check us out then. So, today, I wanted to know, check out the live chat. My boy Mark in the building, Drake Green, Big E Bronco, Jamal, Tynan, Bigfoot Bob, Steeler Lee, Juice in the building. What's up, homies? What's up, everybody, man? I've been a Steeler fan for a long time. And I said to myself, I was talking to myself, I do that sometime, right? I said, self, why are you a Steeler fan? And I'm a Steeler fan because I was born and grew up my first 6 years. Spent a lot of summers there till I was like 15. My dad and mom separated when I was 6 in Youngstown, Ohio. I have a lot of family that are Cleveland Browns fans. I feel for them because as long as I've been alive, they've never seen anything really good being Browns fans. But I feel for them. It's my family, right? It's my blood. I feel for these folks, man. That's why I try not to go so tough on the Browns, man, because I got people that love the Browns, diehard Browns fans, man. Like, I don't get it. They've done it like relatives of mine, cousins and stuff like that. They done it to their kids, man. You know what I mean? Like another generation of disappointed Browns fans. But yeah, my dad was a Steeler fan at the time, so that's kind of why I became a Steeler fan in the early '70s. I was born before they started winning Super Bowls, but when I really knew what I was watching, they was kind of like in the Super Bowl against the Rams. I believe that was a 70, 79 season Super Bowl. 78, 79. First couple Super Bowls I remember those Super Bowls. But then I said to myself, well, yeah, I follow. Oh man, Jamal, what's up? Sorry. Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing with me. My dad passed it down to me, so that's how I roll. But I said, man, Self, are you really a Steeler fan if your mama not a Steeler fan? So I said, I'm just gonna do something random, right? I'm gonna pick up the phone. I'm gonna call my mom. I'm gonna see who my mom likes. See if I rubbed off on my mom or she rubbed off on me. Let's see. If she even answers the phone, that's a possibility that she doesn't. Mama? Mom, what's happening? Oh, my mom's at the farmer's market. How about that? Well, mom, real quick question, real quick. Who's your favorite football team? Oh, okay. That's the answer I was looking for. That's going live out here in podcast world. I just told all the Steelers listeners, told all the Steelers listeners, if your mama not a Steelers fan, you really not a Steelers fan. So thank you. Thank you for passing Steeler fandom down to me. I was just talking about like your brother, my Uncle Eddie, and some of my cousins, and even some of my cousins are still in Youngstown. They're Browns fans, and because they followed their fathers and stuff, they've lived a life of fan misery. At least he passed down. At least he passed down Ohio State to him, though. Okay, well, all right, Mom. Go ahead and finish your farmers market shopping. We'll talk to you later. I got a podcast to do. All right. Yeah, so it's official. I'm a Steeler fan through and through, mom and dad. But anyways, that's just something I thought about. So wanted to just get that question in. Big E Bronco, what you talking about? Back in the '80s, the Browns were pretty good, but we always knocked them out of the playoffs. Just like you all. Playoffs just like you all. Okay. Oh, Big E talking about, yeah, he coming from the Broncos perspective, man. Okay. Yeah, I remember you guys locked us out the playoffs. To '98. Was it like, yeah, Cordell Stewart was our quarterback. The game was played in Three Rivers too, and we lost. I think it was an AFC Championship game. Ashley in the building. Shout out to the chat general, Triple OG herself, Ashley in the building. Thanks, Ashley, for rocking with us. Dre grew up in Canton, Ohio, and have always been told, why are you a Steelers fan and not a Browns fan? Always answer, because the Steelers are winning Super Bowls and the Browns aren't. Well, Dre, at least you've been doing it forever, though, because that front running ain't cool, man. If you front running, like, it was my dad. I mean, I didn't know if this happened to be at the time. Maybe my dad was a front runner. I don't know. Steelers Lee, if you was a Steelers fan through the '80s and early '90s, you OG, triple OG. Shout out Steeler Lee. You definitely right, man. It was some tough times in some of them mid '80s. That one season, they made the AFC Championship and got beat by Dan Marino down in Florida. But past that, a few playoff appearances. But the '80s weren't much to be desired for after post Terry Bradshaw and stuff like that. We rocking with Bubby Brister, Mark Malone, I believe David Woodley for a season, Mike Tomzak for a minute. G Stacks in the building. Hey, why Steelers Nation in uproar of releasing of Beanie Bishop? I think that's Because I mean, Beanie played well last year. Man, I'm gonna get into the 53 here. But Beanie played well last year. Was a really good rookie, talented, coming out of West Virginia. Was undrafted. I think a lot of Steelers fans are up in arms because a lot of Steelers fans are also West Virginia Mountaineer fans too. So the boy got cut, right? I mean, he didn't get cut because he's not good. He got cut because he don't fit. He's a slot corner, short, 5'9", 5'10". No special team capability really. Don't play special teams. He was been the third slot corner. When you talking about you got Jalen Ramsey that's gonna probably start at slot corner. You got Eccles backing him up in the slot. He's the both number one backup on the outside and in the slot. So like the Steelers really like to be versatile and versatility and stuff like that. And we'll get into that real quick here in a minute. But like even Andres Peak, the offensive lineman, he can play tackle and guard. Spencer Anderson can play guard and center. So Steelers like versatility, like to be able to mix things up. That's what they have in the secondary with people like Patrick Queen and stuff like that. Mark Cunningham is right. He's a one-trick pony, so to speak. Slot work only. That's it. But real quick, let's go ahead and let me talk about what today's show going to be about. We're going to talk about we know what we've seen through the preseason, right? Through the preseason and training camp and all that stuff. But what we don't know is what we haven't seen yet. And I haven't seen it, but I know that it's there, right? And when I say that, I'm talking about the players that we didn't see this year in training camp. Not play any preseason game, not any major action. Some of those players are Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, Isaac Seamolu, Jonnu Smith, Cam Hayward, TJ, Alex Highsmith was injured. So we got all these guys coming to add to the mix. And we know individually what all these guys are capable of, right? We know individually what they're all capable of. So like I said, I didn't see them, but I know they're there. So those players are going to have a huge impact on the 2025 Steelers. Players we haven't even seen. The Steelers are an opening favorite against the Jets. I believe the line was set. Now that the roster is reset, they're Steelers -3, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I have to ask B Dirt and Pay to be certain. Check out Pay Dirt. That's their sports betting show. They give really good information, good knowledge, good takes. Check them out. A couple other shows we got coming up. This weekend is our fantasy football draft show, Sunday evening. I believe that started at 8:20. Our draft starts at 9, but we find out the order of the draft order at 8:30. So, it'll kind of be pre-draft, but we'll go into our draft. Our league is called the Back for Blood League. So, and you see some of the teams. We got a division. We got a podcast division. That's myself, Big G, Pay, Mod, B Dirt, and Mike. Mike's not on the podcast. But we got all us from the Know It Alls channel, all in one division. You got the other side. But so looking forward to that. Pay has actually won the last 2 years. He has 3 championships in the 10 seasons we've had it. I have 2 championships. Big G has 1. Ma has 1. B Dirt, this is just his 3rd year. He hasn't got 1 yet. And so we're actually looking forward to that. So we got some different stuff coming up. But we're going to take a quick break, and I mean really quick, and we'll come back and talk about what I expect from the players that were just mentioned this year. Then we'll talk about the 53-man roster, and I'll answer whatever questions before we get out of here. So, want to keep it under 35, 40 minutes. We at 15 now. I'm going to take this one break and be right back. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all rocking with us, rocking with me right now on the Know It Alls channel, us being the Know It Alls crew. Appreciate all of you guys for rocking with us. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to take a quick break and be right back to talk Steelers football right after this. Stay with us. And we're back on this Tate Strong Take Wednesday, I guess. Wednesday lunchtime podcast in the building with the live chat fam. Appreciate you guys again. So on the aforementioned players, Aaron Rodgers. Let's say Aaron Rodgers, old Aaron Rodgers, is probably the best quarterback we've had since Big Ben, but definitely since prime Big Ben. I mean, we drafted Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, you saw, was recently traded again. If he's traded one more time in his career, he'll tie the record for most times traded of all players in NFL history. So the Steelers traded him to the Eagles. The Eagles traded him to the Browns. The Browns, he didn't even play or appear in a game, and they traded him to the Raiders. So, and I've heard talk out there this week, and we hear it all the time about Kevin Colbert's last handful of drafts, how bad they were. Only a couple of the players signed second contracts and stuff. Really reaches, really bad drafts. Kenny Pickett was one of them, so he's gone. But we're talking Aaron Rodgers. I look at it like this. Aaron Rodgers had for his standard, a bad last season in Green Bay. For his standard was better than anything we've had since Big Ben retired. Even his last season in Green Bay was better. Almost even his season where he played 4 snaps in 2023 was hurt the first series of the game for the Jets in 2023 was better than any quarterback season we had. He didn't play but 4 snaps. So that's how lethargic our quarterback play has been for the Steelers since about 2021. Yeah, about 2020, 2021. Because old wash whirlpool machine Big Ben wasn't the best either. But man, Ben's the leader, tough, got us to the playoffs. We got smashed against Kansas City, who I believe were going to win the Super Bowl that year. But yeah, so Aaron Rodgers with a blindfold on is better than what we've been dealing with since Ben. And I was a fan of Russ, but it's just a different style quarterback play. I was a fan of Justin Fields. Justin Fields would have been my first choice to be the Steelers quarterback this year. When that fell through, I kind of, was then thought that Aaron Rodgers would be the best guy out there. I didn't want to pay Sam Darnold all that money. There's nobody else I want to trade major assets for or try and acquire. It was Justin Fields would have been my first choice because he's already here. And he would have been cheap. And I think Arthur Smith could have done some things with Justin Fields. But now he's not. He's not now. Matter of fact, he'll be the first op we go against in a couple weeks. Justin Fields will be. So, and that's another thing I wanted to mention. Sorry, all over the place a little bit, but the 2-minute warning podcast. So this is a new podcast we're going to do. It's going to roll into the post game. The Smash the Gas crew, myself, Big G, the homie Curb, will come at you this year. Steeler games go into the 2-minute warning. We'll finish watching the game together with the live chat and everybody. Then as soon as the game's over, we'll already be on the air and roll right into our post-game coverage. Talk about thoughts, take questions from the chat fam, just engage and, have kind of like a community where we can voice our thoughts on that particular Steeler game each week. So be sure to tap in, subscribe, tell Steeler fans they want that instant post-game coverage this season. Tap in with us because we'll be there to talk about it. But yeah, so Aaron Rodgers last year, I equated to this. Russell Wilson, once he finally got him Justin Fields, I understand it. I think when Russ signed last year, it was a wink and a nod. Tomlin told Russ when he signed and was going to play for $1 million because Denver was playing the rest of the money, that he'd be the starter. He was hurt. Justin Fields was 4-2. Pulled Justin Fields for Russ. Worked out the first 5 or 6 games. Russ was really good. Then the offense started to tank. Really bad. Russ didn't look good. Last year, Aaron Rodgers, conversely, coming back off that Achilles tear from the 2023 season. Remember I said the first 4 games of the season, first four plays, the first series of the season, he was out. So, he came back last year. I believe the Jets started 2-0 last year, and they just went over to London, played the game, and then everything went off track. Then Robert Saleh, the head coach, got fired. The D coordinator took over as interim head coach, so you had a new defensive coordinator also. Offensive coordinator Paul Hackett was fired, new offensive coordinator. The Jets are just a dysfunctional organization, you know. So Aaron Rodgers, they struggled the first half of the season. Second half of the season, Aaron Rodgers started like he was coming back into form. I think played well, finished the season with 28 TDs, 11 interceptions. I can't remember the last time a Steelers quarterback had 28 interceptions. You count Aaron Rodgers one full season with the Jets. Well, really, his only season with the Jets because the first season, like they was hurt on the first series of the game. In his last season in Green Bay, he threw more touchdown passes than the Steelers quarterbacks have since Big Ben. 2 bad seasons for Aaron Rodgers is collectively better than 4 or 5 seasons we got the quarterback position in its totality since Big Ben retired. So I'm expecting a lot from Aaron Rodgers. Not a lot, enough. He'll get us into good offense, good play sets, good play calls with Arthur Smith. I'm expecting the offense to be efficient, not always be 3 and out, get the defense a break sometime, let them get rested up over there and be ready to attack. We put some points on the board, defense can be ready to attack. So I'm expecting that. DK Metcalf, offensive monster, is a beast, wide receiver. Deep threat, physical, 6'3", 225, fast. You know, he goes with what we've been saying the Steelers have been building over the past since Omar Khan took over the draft, building a bully. The Steelers are. When you got players like DK Metcalf and Darnell Washington's going to come into his own this year. We look at Jonnu Smith. I mean, we look at some of these guys the Steelers have. They're just athletic freaks. You know, I'm not even going to mention the defensive side of the ball. But, yeah, just on offense. I mean, I feel like even Caleb Johnson is going to be one of those guys. Kind of like 6'1", 6'2", 220, ripped, cut up, running back. Don't have quick bursts, but got long speed. So if he hits a crease and has a little bit of daylight in front of him, it's house calls. We haven't had that in a minute. We're going to have that this year. So DK is a mismatch for a lot of defensive backs. I'm expecting a large contribution from DK Metcalf, which is why he's getting under $30 million a season. So next player, Seamolu. He played last year. I think he played injured. He's older, but he's our veteran on the line. He's a stabilizer. He hasn't played this preseason a lot. You don't need to play when you're 30 years old and been around the league for 9, 10 years, which Isaac has. So expecting a nice bounce back season from him. Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith is going to be a weapon along with Pat Freiermuth. 12 personnel, going to be a lot of 13 personnel this year. Aaron Rodgers can use the whole field with his no-look passes and his ability to manipulate defense and stuff like that. So I'm looking for a lot from Jonnu Smith. He was an AFC Pro Bowl tight end last year. We add that to the room. So, you know, and these guys we haven't seen. That's what I'm getting at. We haven't seen these guys play yet, but we know that they're there. These guys are going to play. They're going to play against the Jets on September 7th. So, you know, my expectations are higher than what a lot of the national media and prognosticators and stuff are talking about. I mean, you know, even some of my own guys, even check out the homies Friday again, pay and be dirt. Steelers finishing third. Steelers not going to be that good. I think it's between Steelers and Baltimore for that division, but we'll talk more about that on one of the other shows this week. Cam Hayward is back. Cam Hayward, haven't seen him play yet this year. We know what he did last year. All pro, defensive tackle. Get rid of Larry Ogunjobi, bring in the young guy, Derek Harmon, even though he's got a ACL sprain. He should be back by the second or third game. He's an upgrade over Larry Ogunjobi, so we got a better number 99. Depending on how much he plays, I think he could potentially battle for, talking about Derek Harmon, Defensive Rookie of the Year. This being hurt the first game or two could kind of slow that a little bit. But if he gets enough snaps in, enough game play, he'll be one of the potential guys we're looking at for that award. But Cam, just need Cam to be who he was last year. And I think with the defensive line rotation, you see we kept 8 guys. I don't think we keep 8. I think that number goes down a little bit when they'll make some more additional moves here coming up the next couple of days. But we have guys and young guys. Y.A. Black, Keanu Benton is going to come into his own now. It looks like this is his 3rd season. Look like he's ready to get out there and be an impact player, make plays. He's already been an impact player, but I think we'll see splash from him this year. I think he'll get some sacks. He'll have the highest amount of sacks he's had in his career, some forced fumbles, and a lot of quarterback pressures. Expecting that from Keanu Benton. So, we've seen him, but this all relates to Cam and Cam being able to rest, Cam being able to go full go in the 4th quarter in crunch time. Looking forward to that. TJ Watt. We ain't seen TJ Watt this preseason, not one time. But we know that guy there. We know what TJ Watt working with. We know what he gonna bring. And not to even mention the back end with the defensive players he added. We brought Deshaun Elliott back. We got Darius Slay and Jalen Ramsey. Eccles. The back end is gonna be just giving that defensive line an extra half a second to get to the quarterback, and it's going to be impactful. We only saw that defensive secondary for 1 or 2 series against the Carolina Panthers, but we did see them, but we didn't really see them. I'm telling you, we got a lot of stuff to be excited about. And lastly, we know what he brings too, Alex Highsmith. Alex Highsmith is a guy. Him and TJ Watt are arguably easily 2 of the top 5 edge rush duos in the league. If you want to throw a 3rd person in there and have the most dynamic threesome, no Diddy, add Nick Herbig in there, I think they go straight to the top. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But we haven't seen any of these guys, so we will see them September 7th against the New York Jets. Get ready for that, because that'll be a thing. But let me go jump over to the live chat. See if any questions. Evan said, why bother with versatility? TA don't. And you talking about Terrell Austin don't put people in a versatile position. I think this year will be different, Evan, if that's what you're making mention of. They kind of been stubborn, but they haven't had the playmakers. We got Dante Jackson back there. We got a washed Cam Sutton back there. We got KZ back there. This is just last year, not even past year. This is just last year. So I think there's been a huge injection of talent on the Steelers roster. I believe only 26 or 28 players are back that played that last, that were on the team, not played. They were on the team that last playoff loss against Baltimore. So they injected with new talent, young guys they're young guys, but they're veterans to the college game. So they're going to contribute right away. Looking forward to seeing what those guys bring to the table as well. Dre Green says, hey, would you consider this Steelers defense in 2025 an elite defense, or do you need to see them play a few games before you call them an elite? They have elite talent, Dre. They have elite talent. They had the potential to be an elite defense. They definitely have an elite talent set on all levels. We haven't even mentioned Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson. We know what Patrick Queen was in Baltimore. I think he wants to show that he can do that without Raekwon Smith. Peyton Wilson was the Bednarik Award, Buckets Award winner in college, best linebacker in the country, played all over everywhere. In this second season, we're going to see a jump. Haven't talked about that. The addition of Malik Harrison. Not that he's the greatest, he's a younger version of the guy we lost last year. He used to play for the Patriots. E-Rob, yeah. He's a younger version of that and plays special teams. So, I'm looking forward to this defense. Elite talent. I won't just say that they're elite yet, but I need to see a few games, then we'll get into it. Big E Bronco, I knew fans like to give the D nickname this year. We are calling the D cell block because D is going to be locked down. Yeah, the Bronco defense is gonna be good, man. But I think last time we played the Broncos last year was a defensive struggle. I think that's when Bo Nix hadn't came into his own yet. But we'll see what the Broncos defense will do this year. I think they'll be very good. I mean, fantasy capable draft. I mean, to draft the Broncos defense, but we'll see. Mark Cuddy, I'm with you. I'm with you, Tate. If we average 23 points per game, we can get double-digit wins if our D is what we think. Agreed 100%. I think the offense might average 20 points last year. I think they're better in the field goal, better than they were last year. I got the offense, hopefully, averaging 24, 25 a game, actually tell you the truth. Afton likes the talent. Now give me some unpredictability. Yeah, don't be vanilla. Don't be easy to read and predictable, like she's saying. Give us some unpredictability. So I'm with you on that, Afton. They need to mix it up, and I think they will. I think we'll see players moving around, confusing defenses. I think you'll see blitzes coming from different places this year and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to this season. I haven't looked forward to a season like this in a few years, probably since Big Ben's been going. It was excitement in the building last year when Russ was the guy. I had a bad take when Kenny Pickett was drafted. Mitch Trubisky, because fans going to the season with everybody's hopeful for the new season. Kind of like in the spring. A new spring brings about new things, right? New flowers, new plants, leaves blooming. It's just an aura of excitement that spring brings. So does late summer going into football season. Brings about excitement. You bring your football team, you 0-0, you got a chance. We in it right now. Let's see what we can do. So I think that's where I'm excited about the season more than I have been in a minute. But let's tap into the 53-man roster. I'm going to pull it up on the screen here. You guys share your thoughts about it as we talk about it real quick. I won't be long. So to read this graphic, the quarterbacks, we kept 4. I don't think we'll stick with 4. One of two things is going to happen. Skylar Thompson is going to get traded, or they're going to put Will Howard on the IR for the first 4 weeks and revisit the Skylar Thompson, Will Howard thing after the first 4 weeks when they get back from Ireland. But, so right now they have 4 quarterbacks in the roster, but either Skylar Thompson is getting traded or released, or Will Howard's going to IR. One of those two things have to happen probably by this weekend. The running backs. Obviously, you got Kenneth Gainwell, Caleb Johnson, Jalen Warren. What we thought. Had to let go of Lou Nichols and Trey Sermon, who played well. I believe Trey Sermon's a vested veteran, so not any team just pick him up. I believe he can, if he wants to be a Steeler, he can make it to the Steeler practice squad and be part of this team this year. Like that. Wide receiver. I think it's a move to come here before kickoff Sunday. Don't know what that move is yet. We've been talking about it a lot in some of the different podcast chat groups, potential guys and stuff. We'll talk about that tonight because Big G and Shannon was just talking about that before I came on air here in our group chat. But so we'll talk about that this evening. But right now, you got Calvin Austin, DK Metcalf, Scotty Miller, Roman Wilson, and Skoranek. Now, Steelers keep 5. I think Skoranek's the keeper, just having special teams play, and he's another big guy that can block him. He's really, really good on special teams. And Aaron Rodgers likes him. That matters right now. Scotty Miller's been balling out. But if you can bring in I don't think Scotty Miller would be viewed over or higher up the depth chart than Calvin Austin, who we didn't say play either. We know what he is. He wasn't even on one of the ones I talked about, but we didn't see him play either. And I believe Roman Wilson is going to be a player. I talked about him last week. So if the Steelers make a move, either they're going to keep 6 receivers or Scotty Miller's going to be the odd man out move to the practice squad. That's just what I believe. Tight end, Steelers kept 3, technically 4. Have Connor Hayward listed as tight end fullback, but we know he's a tight end. Could play some H-back in the lineup. He's a utility knife. Plays good special teams. Is the 4th tight end now. Can be a fullback or H-back. We don't have that body type on the team. He can do those things. So there's value there. I know a lot of Steelers fans want him cut, but not only is he a good all-around football player, Aaron Rodgers likes him already, has mentioned his name in press conferences. He's Cam Hayward's little brother. There's a little bit of nepotism in some of that, so he was never going to be cut. Never going to be cut. The offensive line, we know the starters. We kept Calvin Anderson, Spencer Anderson, and McCullum on the bench, and Andrews Pete. So 9 total linemen. I think if they can find an upgrade at tackle, I think Calvin Anderson could be gone. I believe Andrews Pete, with his veteran experience, he's been a three-time Pro Bowler. He can play guard and tackle. I think he's going to be a keeper, but I think they're looking to upgrade the swing tackle position. That could be something that could happen here also as the waiver wire becomes a vet. Might be something going on right now. I haven't looked at these Steelers news today, so I couldn't even tell you what has happened today, but, something's going to happen. Defensive line. We got the guys we know. Keanu Benton, Cam Hayward, Derek Harmon, Y.A. Black, Equale. Loudermilk was a surprise to me. And Ozzy, we kept him, and Logan Lee. So I like the line. I think 8 is quite a bit. I think they keep 7. I think they just kept somebody to protect them right away. Then once things settle down, they may send one of those guys to the practice squad, maybe Ozewu, whatever his name is. I'm jacking it up, doing my best Big G. But yeah, so 8 defensive linemen is right now. The linebacker room, another surprise to me. Carson Bruner making it, Mark Robinson getting cut. I wasn't expecting that one. Had it the other way. Had Bruner maybe going to the practice squad and Robinson being on the team as a special teamer. But I guess Bruner, again, I'm not saying he's a good football player, great special teamer. He can develop at the linebacker position, I believe, better than Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson came out of college playing running back, switched to linebacker. Bruner's been a linebacker that offers special teams. That's cheaper. Mark Robinson's special teams too. Bruner was the special teams captain at Washington in the Big Ten. And there could be a tad bit of what we said about Connor Hayward, nepotism. His dad, Mark Bruner, was a second-round pick for the Steelers back in the 90s. Tight end, worked for the organization, I believe, as a scout. So, but I think Bruner's deserved it. He could have went either way. I'm not mad Robinson didn't make it. And I think Bruner can be good. The defensive backs were a little bit somewhat surprising who they let go. I wasn't surprised to let Beanie go. Trice, I've had a feeling they keep Trice. Trice is on the IR. The surprise to me was keeping Dante Kent. That was the biggest surprise. But the Steelers really like him. Good young player. He's really fast. He can play the nickel. So he has more versatility than Beanie, right? He's more explosive as an overall football player. Beanie is a tough, hard-nosed, solid football player. I agree. Dante Kent is a better athlete in the slot. That's faster, that's quicker than Beanie. Probably better in coverage, maybe not as good against the run, but can also return punts and kicks. So he has that versatility. He can play special teams. If something happens to Calvin Austin or one of the punt returns or something like that, he can go back there and offer that versatility. So surprised me, but I understand and I like the move. Special teams is what it is. Christian Coons, I talked about Waitman. I told you myself and Big G had Waitman making it over Cameron Johnston. I mean, I feel like he's younger, it's more upside, he's cheaper. And he did a great job last year filling in for Cameron Johnston. And what's Mike Tomlin always say? One man's misfortune is another man's opportunity. Well, last year, Cam Johnson had some misfortune to get hurt in the first game of the season. Corliss Waitman came in, did a respectable and admirable job at the punting game last year. They battled out this year in camp. And when things are close, I think it was a close competition. I think Cameron Johnson will be on the team sometime soon. Before the season starts, he'll be a punter on an NFL team because he's that good. But for the Steelers, we're looking at two NFL pro starting punters on the team. They went with the guy that's younger, definitely more upside because Cameron Johnson is 33. I don't expect him to get better, even if he stays where he's at. Corliss Waitman could get better and cheaper. Steelers save about $2 million by making that move. The Steelers, as of yesterday's 53-man roster decisions, were $19.5 million under the cap. So they got that to spend if they want. Receiver, anybody? We'll check out and see what they do. I think a move is going to happen here before the season. Couldn't tell you what it is. Right now, ideally, I want that guy to be Jacoby Myers from the Raiders. I think he fits. Would be a great number 2 receiver. Would be another physically imposing receiver, like 6'2", 205, can block, possession down receiver, physical, another big body out there. So now you running 12. You got DK, you got Jacoby Myers, you got Muth, you got Jonnu, or you want to switch Jonnu or Muth up with Darnell Washington? We bigger, stronger, and just probably more aggressive mindset than everybody. That's what camp does. Camp develops that camaraderie, that mindset, that physicality. That's what the Steelers do. That's Steeler football. It's always been Steeler football. So looking forward to that. And like I said, we'll talk about some of this other stuff this evening on the other shows. Smash the Gas tonight. Myself, Big G, and Curb, 7:15 on Norlaw's channel. Right after that, 8:05, myself, Big G, and the Triple OG Shannon on the Pump Your Brakes podcast. Tap into them, check them out. We'll be definitely there for you. Question, you know we like to be inclusive and engaging with the live chat. So yeah, tap in. Matter of fact, before I get out of here, I'm gonna tap into the live chat and see what anybody's been saying in the last couple minutes. Let's just see real quick. Biggie Bronco says, if you guys would give your defense a nickname, what would it be? I'll let some other live chatters chime in on that, and I'll think of something while we're going through these comments and give you one before we got here. Mark Cunningham says he's with me. We average 23 points a game. We can get with our D is what we think. Oh, we saw that one already. Let me go see. Okay, Mark, your first sentence here, I ain't read the whole comment yet, but when I see it saying, I don't understand Big G, I agree with you right now. I don't even know what it says. I agree with you. I sometimes never understand Big G, but that's my boy, been my man for over 40 years, so, you know, I rock with him. We don't always see eye to eye, but it's from the same place. Love for the Steelers, you know what I mean? Brotherhood with each other. Can certainly appreciate that. We argue, we disagree. Hell, we fuss, we fight sometimes, even as 50-plus-year-old men. But, you know, that's my boy. It's my brother from another mother. Mark said, I don't understand why Big G gets too upset about our special teams guys, Killebrew, Hayward, etc. Our core special team guys. If they have to play from scrimmage, we're in trouble anyway. You're right. You're right. They're not every down guys. There's special teams guys and specialty guys. Killebrew has a roster spot just because he's a Pro Bowl special teams player. We don't expect Killebrew to be back there in coverage, keeping the top on the defense. We don't expect that. If we there, we won't even put Killebrew in at safety as a last resort. We might move Darius Slay back to free safety and move somebody around or do something different. Yeah, Killebrew will see little time in the secondary this season because we have more depth. We're deeper, more talent in the secondary this year. I'm not worried about Killebrew. Just do what you do on special teams, bro. Adam said I get big mad at our special teams lack of tackling and blocking. They do, but they're ranked one of the top and rated one of the top special teams. Danny Smith does a great job. Players get out there and miss tackles sometimes and stuff. It's really inexcusable, but happens sometimes. I believe, yeah. She's talking about, of course, Waitman's a left-footed punter. And that matters. That's different. You don't see a left-footed punter all the time. So when he gets into the game, it's a different back spin on the ball because he's kicking it with the opposite foot. So that's something that maybe teams do, but it's really difficult to prepare for from week to week because so many times you're going against a right-footed kicker, you get a left-footed kicker in there. Whether you know it or not, it changes things up. The homie J. Steve, Tate after everyone. A little late today. Shout out to the homie J. Steve. You're not late, man. You just right on your time, bro. I can respect that. It's middle of the day. Dre, Afton, him being okay. Yeah. Addressing, of course, Waitman. Oh, wow. G-Stack's reporting. And he's worth it. He's worth it. Kyle Hamilton got 4 years, 100 million, 80 million guaranteed. I think Kyle Hamilton's a top 2 safety in the league, Baltimore safety. He's versatile, right? He can play coverage. He can come down the box and play the run. He's young. It's the market now. I mean, for the best safety, I mean, we got off Minka. Minka was going to make was it 22 this year? 18 against the Cat. I don't remember. Not as much as Kyle Hamilton just signed for it, but Minka was a top 3 safety when he got his contract. This is where the market is going for the tops at the position. Mark Cunningham, how many muffs did Waitman punts cause last year? 3 or more? Waitman did very good. I don't remember the statistics or actual numbers on that. Waitman did very good last year, though, Mark. I'm looking forward to it. I picked Waitman for all the reasons I mentioned. He's younger. And then Cam Johnston is an Ohio State guy, my guy back there. So, like Shannon got his boy Benny Bishop cut. An Ohio State guy got cut too. So, still Steelers through and through. Also Ohio State. Cameron Johnson will find a job, but I think Corey Waitman, what he did last year was the punter for this team. Again, Coach T, one man's misfortune is another man's opportunity. Corey Waitman seized the opportunity. So with that being said, everybody, for this episode of Tate Strong Steelers Take, we're going to jump out of here on that one. Thanks, everybody, for rocking with me during this lunchtime Steeler podcast. And we'll be back this evening. Thanks, everybody, again. And we'll see you later this evening. Until later on this evening, peace out.
Let's go.
Mamba out.
Y'all come back now. Here